What's your reaction, Congressman, to the news about the Deputy FBI Director Andrew McCabe leaving?
Well, it's not surprising to me. I mean, he's been undermined from day one. He's been under attack from day one. And this administration and the Republicans in Congress are doing everything they can to discredit the FBI, to discredit the Justice Department. They really ought to stop. And I think this will be the first of a lot of people leaving because nobody wants to see their good work undermined. It's just awful.
The White House is pointing to McCabe and its claims of an anti-Trump bias in Robert Mueller's overall Russia investigation. Where do you see things going from here?
Well, you know, this paranoia about an anti-Trump bias, or we hear certain claims one day and it's disputed the next day, and then it's rebuked the day after that. It's been a steady flow, one after the other. Now they want to release this Republican memo. We demand that if they're going to release that, they ought to release the Democratic memo. It's just absolutely, again, ridiculous, these attacks on Justice Department and the FBI. It all stems, of course, from the Mueller investigation. They want to undermine it. They want to discredit it. They want to have a lot of smoke. It's just awful. It's really an attack on the basics of our democracy, as far as I'm concerned.
Have you read this 4-page memo that Devin Nunes, the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, and other Republicans would like to release? I know they've made it available to members of the House. Well,
I've sent them a letter telling them I'd like to see it. I have not seen it yet. But again, if they're going to release the Republican memo, we want the Democratic memo released as well. We want a balanced opinion. We want balanced opinions. We want all sides to be shown. And of course, if they just release what the Republicans say, it's only half a story. It's not really fair, and it's not what should be done.
There was a letter written to Devin Nunes, the chairman of the Intelligence Committee, by Stephen Boyd, the Assistant Attorney General. Let me read a paragraph from the letter that says, don't release this 4-page memo. Here's the paragraph. In addition, we have also heard that the House Special Committee on Intelligence is considering making the classified memorandum available to the public and the media, an unprecedented action, the Assistant Attorney General writes. We believe it would be extraordinarily reckless for the committee to disclose such information publicly without giving the department and the FBI the opportunity to review the memorandum and to advise the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence of the risk of harm to national security and to ongoing investigations that could come from public release. Indeed, we do not understand why the committee would possibly seek to disclose classified and law enforcement sensitive information without first consulting with the relevant members of the intelligence community. Clearly, the Justice Department is afraid that sensitive classified information, including sources and methods, could be undermined. Have you ever seen the House Intelligence Committee or the Senate Intelligence Committee release this kind of classified information without first allowing the intelligence community to review it? Because they're not sharing this 4-page memorandum basically with anyone outside the House.
Well, no, I haven't, and I think the fears are very well founded, and that's why I'm saying that if they made the decision to release what the Republicans said, they ought to release the Democratic response for balance. You know, it's really shocking, Wolf, that there is just such an attack again on the FBI, on the Justice Department. When the president first took office, he attacked all the intelligence. There seems to be continuing this coddling of Russia, this not going after the Russians. There's a bill which we passed back in August of last year with over 400 votes in the House. It was bipartisan, demanding that some of the sanctions be imposed on some of these Russians for interfering in our election. The president blew past the deadline, and about a month later came forward with the names. Today is the deadline for him to come forward with the sanctions. We haven't heard a word other than the fact that he's going to do it, but meanwhile he hasn't done it. I don't understand. This administration seems to go lightly on Russia and attack U.S. intelligence. To me, it just boggles my mind.
Yeah, in this letter, by the way, very quickly, I'll read another line from it. The Assistant Attorney General, remember, this is the Justice Department under Jeff Sessions, the former Republican senator from Alabama. The damage potentially would have damaging impact that the release of classified material could have on our national security and our ability to share and receive sensitive information from friendly foreign governments. All that warning. Let's see what the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence does later today, whether they ignore these warnings from the Justice Department or go ahead and release this sensitive 4-page memo. Elliot Engel, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Wolf. Always a pleasure.